Welcome to Finding Myself Through Obesity. This weekend is going to be another women's retreat, and I'm super excited. The last one was so amazing, and I am learning so much. No matter how many times we learn something, it feels like we continually have to remind ourselves of what is true. The theme for this women's retreat is coming home to yourself. My last women's retreat, I remember being in this room and we were all dancing and having so much fun, and that was the thought that came to my mind is, I feel like I'm home. And the song, It Feels Like Home, came into my mind. It feels like home to me. And it was just a beautiful moment. It just reminds me that we can all create home within ourselves by surrounding ourselves with love. I feel like we've been taught in our society to be our worst enemy. And everything that I'm learning in my healing is that we actually are the only ones who have the power to give us what we want. And it feels like we go in, we want to talk to people about our problems and we want people to help us fix our problems. But really what I'm learning is that we already have all of the answers inside of us, but most of us aren't willing to look at it. And that's been my experience my whole life. I was just thinking about how I used to journal all the time. I had a journal when I was a little girl. I journaled almost every single day through my high school experience. And I got married right out of high school. I thought it would be so exciting to have a journal and to write all the details of our amazing marriage together so that our kids could read it. As I got into my marriage, it became more of a venting. And so my journal became a way to complain about my life. And eventually I stopped journaling because I didn't want my kids to read that, number one. And number two, I think when you write things down and you are journaling, you have to be aware of it. It's like, oh wow, this is my truth. I just thought that was an interesting perspective when I was thinking about journaling. And I feel like I need to start journaling again. For half my life, I was really good at journaling. And I'm grateful that I can go back through my journals and hear my experiences and learn about myself through my journals. That's really something I want to start doing more of, is journaling. All of a sudden I was thinking that this podcast is a journal. My YouTube channel has been a journal. My Instagram has been a journal. I was just reminded of that right now. I cannot wait to tell you all the experiences that I'm going to have at the women's retreat this weekend. I already know it's going to be amazing. So I'll be sharing that next week. I also have an appointment set up to do a meal plan with my health coach on Monday. And so I'm going to be putting that into place and have some more accountability with that. So I'm excited to have that support from my nutritional coach. She is all about whole food, plant-based eating. I wanted to set an intention for the retreat that I'm going to this weekend. I really wanted to start pondering on the things that I feel like I have to offer the world. I know I'm being called to help serve and help bring other people to this place of self-love. And I have that imposter syndrome come in all the time, like, oh, who am I to say that? Who am I to be able to help somebody else? And so my intention for this retreat is I want to get down to the bottom of what I've been put on this earth to do. What are my gifts and how can I help other people? How can I help serve other people and help them come into this place of peace? Help them learn who they are. Help them know that they have all of the answers inside of them already. And as a soul mentor, I'm going to be helping people find their own answers. So I don't have to know your answers. All it is asking the right questions. When we can start being more curious and start asking better questions, then we will start getting to the answers. So this week, the intention that I want to have, and that I invite you also, is asking yourself, what gifts do I have? And how can I use those gifts to bless other people? Is there something that I know, something that I've been through, something that I've learned that I can share and help other people not feel alone? Also, when we are in a place when we're struggling, let's ask ourselves some new questions. Let's ask ourselves, what is it that makes me feel safe? Let's ask ourselves, what do you need to feel supported? Let's ask, what else is there? And one of the most important questions to ask is, when you're having a thought or when you are struggling, to ask yourself, is this true? Because most of the time we are struggling with a statement that's completely false. We can never heal from a lie. We have to be able to get to the truth before we can move through it. Thank you for listening to my podcast. Every single episode that I put out there, I have 30 people that continually come back and listen again. And I am so grateful. I'm so grateful for you 30 people who are coming back to my podcast and you are wanting to listen, and hopefully you're learning something. Anytime that you're listening to my podcast and you think of somebody, you have a thought of somebody that you could share it with, please reach out and share it with them. I am putting together my membership, and soon I'm going to be able to build this community where I can help support and build a community around all of us who are doing this work together, because there is nothing more powerful than people who are going towards the same goal, who also know the same pain and feel understood, they feel seen, and they feel loved. So I am so excited about putting this together. That's another thing I have to have a leap of faith on, because I have had multiple people reach out to me. Just the fact that I am speaking my truth is speaking to their hearts. And I hope that I can help lead you into a place of truth by sharing my experience, by sharing my truth. Hopefully it will lead you to your truth too. See you guys next week.